We're jumping into the department of sound on this episode of Tech Talk. Sound designers create the atmosphere, energy, and emotional tension of a show, while also making sure that you can actually hear the actors. And in theater, that alone deserves a big, fat medal, or at least a lifetime supply of freshly charged batteries. Sound teams deal with music, effects, microphones, speakers, signal flow, mixing, and the occasional actor who loves to consistently whisper like they're in a spy movie. So, grab your headphones and your favorite roll of gaff tape. We're heading into the world of live sound. Everything starts long before the tech booth lights up. The sound designer begins by shaping how the world of the show sounds. The cue list is the foundation of the design. It's a giant list of every moment the sound changes or something is played. Those include pre-show music, transitions, ambiance tracks, underscoring, special effects, and that one really loud rooster noise that makes the audience jump out of their seats every single night. The cue list keeps everyone in sync and ensures nothing is forgotten. Like the moment you forgot to load the bus crash effect in that scene and now the stage manager is staring directly into your soul. The sound concept is the overall artistic vision. For example, a period piece might use specific instruments for the era, and a comedic piece might use an extremely exaggerated effects. Sound supports the emotional storytelling just as much as scenic or lighting. If lighting sets the mood, sound design sets the heartbeat. Now, we get to be technical. The sound designer plans the audio system for the production, which includes speaker placement, microphone selection, mixing board layout, communication system, and sometimes a backup system just in case the soundboard decides to take a day off. System planning ensures every seat in the house hears the same show, because nobody wants the left side of an audience hearing thunder while the right side hears a light drizzle. So now the design is made. Here comes the part that makes audio techs both cheer and cry: installing the system. The speaker plot shows where every speaker goes. It's like a map of a theme park, but instead of rides, it's full of heavy black boxes that two people and one super determined person to live. Placement matters. A speaker 2 feet to the wrong side can make the instrumental sound like it's coming from the bathroom. The patch list tells the crew how everything connects. If something stops working in the patch list, your treasure map, because somewhere in the maze of cables is just that one place where someone plugged channel 8 into that one jack we never use. The signal flow diagram is the big picture view of how audio travels through the system. It's the designer saying, here is everything that happens between the microphone and your ear. This includes input, processing, routing, output, monitors, and wireless systems. Once the physical system is ready, the designer begins programming the show. Most theater sound runs on a playback software like QLab or SCS. This is where the cues become real. Cue building includes loading audio files, adjusting levels and timings, adding fades, and labeling the cues so clearly that even the stage manager can follow them at 2 a.m. This is also where the designer spends hours listening to the same 3-second sound effect until they question their entire life. Sound designers love backups. Why? Because audio equipment is like a toddler. Everything is fine until suddenly it is absolutely not fine. Secondary computers, offline saved versions of the show, and emergency batteries are usually all available if needed. If something fails mid-show, the audience should hopefully never know. Meanwhile, the sound operator is completely freaking out in the tech booth. Sound designers often have to edit audio by trimming, equalizing, layering, and smoothing out transitions. Once the programming is complete, the show belongs to the soundboard operator, also known as the person who keeps everything from diving into chaos. For running cues, the operator triggers sound cues on the stage manager's go. Miss a cue? The audience hears silence. Hit too early, suddenly the emotional monologue has a comedic sound effect. Cue too loud, at least 6 people will jump and blame you. Timing is everything. Live mixing is an art form. And with the board op balancing microphones, instrumentals, and monitors, it's like conducting an orchestra, except the violin section is 8 middle schoolers wearing wireless mics running in circles. The board op needs to know how to EQ, adjust gains, create focus, fade, mute, monitor sends, what not to press. Every board is different, but every board has an on button that you never touch. No one knows what it does. Nobody wants to find out. You know what's really special? Audio troubleshooting. A lot of common issues include pops, cracks, hums, static, phantom power mishaps, cables that decide to retire mid-show, and mics that completely cut out in the middle of someone's solo. Solve it fast, solve it quietly, and solve it without causing the actors to panic. Now the part that makes this department both magical and maddening: microphones. Every actor receives a mic assignment, which has mic number, pack number, preset location, scenes they use it, and costume change requirements. These charts keep the mic team from having to guess who needs to sound like who. Everything gets labeled with all of their info, and if something isn't labeled, then it doesn't exist. Batteries are the blood of microphones, and like real blood, you do not want to run out. Batteries are tracked, so there are fresh batteries for each show and emergency backups if needed, because nothing is scarier than a mic cutting out mid-song, except maybe seeing an actor attempt to fix their own mic pack on stage. Microphones are fragile and often need maintenance repairs, like if you look at them funny, they might break fragile. They often need to be cleaned, cables retaped properly, and replacing connectors. And that's the world of sound design and microphones. Sound creates emotion, drives energy, and makes sure the audience hears the story. Designers plan the world, programmers build it, board ops bring it to life, and the mic team keeps the actors talking. Without sound, theater would just be a very well-lit mime show. Thanks for listening. Literally. And stick around for our next episode in this series.